You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
TNM.
Are you ready to listen to Final Wrestling Place? Kick it! Yeah! Yeah! You wanna be in the good place, fool? You better be doing what you're supposed to do. Bad place, little boy. Good place, little man. Break it down. Final Wrestling Place. Final Wrestling Place.
All right, brother. We're a day late, but it's okay. Oh, you bet to. It did not pick up.
No, wow. That was a healthy pop, too.
Nah, man.
No pop. Exactly.
No Pop Jones. Just like Seth Rollins. Hey, no pop. But yeah, the Confederate champagne is flowing over your neck of the woods.
That's the strong stuff right there, too.
On a Monday night. It's a school
Monday
night. How dare you?
For reasons I may or may not have had to tighten up the diet for a couple weeks.
Okay.
So enjoying this this first canned pop. You know.
His last canned pop before Okay.
Well, that's the first one. It's the last one of the night, but it's the first one in a while. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, man. I'm enjoying it. It tastes so good.
Good. What does it taste like? Freedom? What does it taste like?
Freedom.
Freedom. Got it.
Freedom.
Got it. Let's not belabor the point. Welcome to Final Wrestling Place. I'm Tim.
I'm still Marcus.
And we had ourselves a weekend.
Sure did, man.
Nice little jaunt. Going down to our old stompin'.
Boys weekend.
Unfortunately, like it's kind of like it's like a fortunately, unfortunately kind of deal. Because like I would have loved if the consortium could have joined as well. But then, however, it was good that it was just the two of us.
All right, we do what we've done 1,000 times. You and me hitting the road.
Marcus, we ain't as young as we used to be.
Sure not, man. That rest stop, quick little potty break. That was well needed for the old up down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You gotta. I was telling my consortium. Remember, like 10 years ago, we did like a 16-hour trip from PA to Virginia and back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we did a down, up, and back.
And then there was the North Carolina trip. The ultimate down, up, and back. You remember that one?
No.
Words. We caught up with Stoke in North Carolina.
Okay.
For a big event down there at one of the indies that we used to be cool with because of do you not remember? I'm trying to like be coded and F it. Elevator music going right here. CWF Mid-Atlantic.
Okay. Oh yeah, we did do that one. Yeah, that's right. That was longer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah. So we did like the down, up, down, and back again, and that was like a 20-hour day.
Yeah, that was a healthy like 9+ hours.
One-way drive to get there.
Yeah.
for a Royal Rumble type match, and then leave at the end of the night and then drive another 9 back. No hotel,
Yep.
no stopping.
We're young.
We were young and dumb and full of energy. But needless to say, it was a good time for all of us, I think. It was really awesome to see Mr. Pig do his thing against the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3. A fun night of matches all around at Virginia Championship Wrestling. If you ever find yourself down in Virginia, and VCW's running, like, you're hard pressed to find. You could easily find a worse indie than this. This is a fun time. Everybody works hard, puts on a good show, and man, that main event with Mr. Pig didn't quite go the way I wanted. But you know, with little visual pin, you know, the ref gets knocked down. Little 1, 2, 3 action, but dastardly men in charge over at VCW send the cavalry down, the cavalcade down, and another referee, and EC3 gets the roll up. And some would call it a fast count from the referee. Some would call it a different cadence, but whatever you call it, 1, 2, 3, and EC3 maintains his status as the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. But complimentary words for the boar after the match, maybe alluding to a rematch of some sort, maybe down the line. But you were there, you watched it with me. What did you think of Mr. Pig doing his thing with EC3?
Yeah, some inside information directly from Mr. Pig. Cool night. It was a really cool night. Another look, when it's a big match and it's VCW, especially when it's the Temple, the place is packed. You know, we're talking you know, around 23,000 people, would you say?
I mean, I've been there before, but I've never seen the Norfolk Masonic Temple hold 23,000 people.
But it did on that night.
It did on that night, yeah. They took the roof off the place and just kept building stairs, touched the
Just
sky.
kept going up, baby.
Yeah.
But it was a super cool experience. It was a night of validation, I think, for Mr. Pig, and that's super cool. You know, there may have been a finish that was pitched a while ago that it seemed like everybody was on board for, and then get to the building. Plans always change, pal, and plans change, pal. Nothing Mr. Pig wasn't already prepared for. So when a new finish is being discussed and the people pitching it are just going back and forth, bouncing like two lesser ideas back and forth. You know how, like, in a sitcom, like Saved by the Bell, right? Zach Morris can make everything pause.
Of course.
And like, so like, this
Who
is like
did
the
that in the new
opposite.
class? Who did the pause
I
time?
don't know.
Okay.
Never saw it. This is the opposite happened, where like Mr. Pig felt like he was standing still while everything else was going on.
So it was like that scene in what was that card counting movie 21, where Kevin Spacey's just watching numbers fly in front of his face and all these different equations and things.
Is that also in The Hangover? I would know.
Also
that's in
from The Hangover, yes.
Okay, there we go. You got me. So that's what it felt like. And Mr. Pig might have had this exact thought. Your whole brain is filled with nothing but professional wrestling. The only thing that you have 100% confidence in is professional wrestling. These finishes are going to make you look like an idiot. You have to think of something, and you have to think of it now.
And
Do
that's
something.
that's also tough for Mr. Pig, who's maybe had 1 concussion,
What?
2 concussions,
What?
possibly 3 concussions.
Whatever the number is,
Whatever
I'm
the
sure it's the
number
right
of-
number.
Brain fog is a real thing for Mr. Pig. But I think what Mr. Pig came up with, which is what we saw live in Norfolk, that's good stuff, man. It was good.
It was cool. It was a good test of Mr. Pig, creatively, politically, in ring. It was a good test, and Mr. Pig felt like he passed with flying colors, and drew a great house. And Mr. Pig, most importantly, sold out of merch.
Whoa, got to put in that order.
Sure do. So, great night for Mr. Pig, and great night for VCW wrestling.
And a big night for Erica Lee too. Erica was there as well.
Big night for the big gal.
Yeah, I got to catch up with Gummy Boar a little bit. That was fun. Erica picking up a big victory there at VCW as well. So, yeah, man. Here's hoping for all of us Boar lovers that this past Saturday, to quote notable person in the internet wrestling community, Triple H, this is the spark that lights the flame, that ignites the torch, that erupts the raging inferno, that could be the Boar's fantastic 2024. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I've always said I've lived vicariously through the Boar. I've watched the entire career from start to finish. So, or not even finished. It ain't over yet, pal.
Hold on, pal.
No, hold on. I know nothing. I don't got nothing. But it was good, man. Good catching up with you on the road trip. We don't get to, ever since the little piglet, and we wouldn't change anything to do with that. But, ever since the little one, we don't get to do that very often. But I think as like the kid gets a little older, there's a little looser leash, and we can go around and do our stuff and things. But we were talking on the way down to Virginia. We were just shooting our shot back and forth about like what the heck do we want to talk about this week on Final Wrestling Place, and we just came across one of our collective favorite holidays. And
it's
that
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
I love Groundhog Day, dude.
We need to find time. Like, that's another thing we need to put on our bucket list is like go to Puxatawny for Groundhog Day.
I don't know where in Pennsylvania it is. I do know that it is exactly 6 hours from everywhere.
So I believe it is in a city called Puxatawny.
Yeah, I do know that part.
Which is why it's Puxatawny, Phil.
I just know that it's very far away from everything.
That's fine. We take time off. We go. We devour. We take what's ours. And seeing that beautiful animal covered in fur make its way out of its hole and hopefully tell us in the future what he told us this year, that it's going to be an early spring. Sign me the H up, brother. And then
big baby face turn for the Groundhog for Phil Phil like the Groundhog.
Ned the
Or
Stead.
Punxsutawney Phil. But yeah, big babyface turn for Punxsutawney Phil this year. Early spring, let's go. You know, he wants the boys to have an early summer, so appreciate that.
Yes, sir. But we were talking about Groundhog Day, but not like typical Groundhog Day, like early spring, late winter, but like the movie. And how, of course, Bill Murray, if you've never seen Groundhog Day, get ready for your spoiler. But of course, Bill Murray and the news crew that he's with, he's weatherman, going down, and they get stuck in a snowstorm trying to get out of Punxsutawney, and he relives the same day for ever, it seems. And so, of course, we like to spin things in a different way. So, good place, bad place, wrestling moments you wish you could relive, or wrestling moments you would hate to relive in a Groundhog Day situation. It's about time I started using all of my questioning genius and use it on my own show, as opposed
There
to
you
giving
go.
away all these questions over on We Need Wrestling. Because it's hard being creative for two shows, much less one. But we kind of talked a little bit in the car about it, but we decided we were going to leave a lot of it. We were going to call it on the show, apparently. Is there any moments you wish you could, like, be forced to relive, or would hate to relive in a never-ending scenario?
The one that jumped out to me as far as I do not want to relive, I believe, let me get the date right on that one real quick. I should have been a professional. I had that pulled up ahead of time. Pretty sure I have it off the top of my head. Yep. So it is April 6th, 2014. And that, of course, is WrestleMania 30. Funny that this WrestleMania gets brought up here, as 10 years ago, WWE seemingly found themselves in a similar position as to what they may be in now, which we'll get into later. Maybe with a big box office main event that maybe a vocal minority does not want to see. Instead, opting for a different alternative to be in the main event. And I was part of the grouping that wanted the big box office main event. I am a huge Dave Bautista fan. I am a huge Randy Orton fan. Evolution is one of my favorite staples of all time. So I was very much looking forward to Randy Orton and Batista, because this is a match that had been teased as far back as WrestleMania 22. That was going to be a main event match. Batista has the, I believe it was the tricep injury back then, or lat. I think he tore his lat, something ridiculous, towards the end of 2005. So he was out for WrestleMania, had to relinquish the title. But it seemed like they were kind of building towards Orton and Batista. And as time went on, Batista, the legend of him grows. Orton matures. He only gets better. And we got into 2014. Batista comes back from a little break. He's a bigger star. Yeah, maybe the look wasn't as I remembered it being, and maybe he's trying some new things and taking some risks, and trying to freshen up his character with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Dave Batista. But Orton in 2014 is that dude certified multiple times. And I was really looking forward to that main event. And in my opinion, a storyline that I thought was pretty clear was going from SummerSlam to SummerSlam. The fans got impatient, I believe. And they wanted what they wanted when they wanted it, and they wanted it now. And they ended up making the night all about Daniel Bryan, and that's cool. Match with Triple H was great. The triple threat match is really good, but everybody else got what they wanted. I didn't get what I wanted. I wanted Batista. I wanted Orton. Also, did not want Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker. I thought just because you ruined Brock Lesnar over the course of a year and a half doesn't mean you get to hit the emergency button and have Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker for the streak. And I'm not saying like the streak had to go to a young guy, because I think that's a big time investment to make into somebody. And if you get it, you have to get it right. But I think it could have went to the guy ended up getting the second win over Undertaker at WrestleMania. I think you could see already by 2014 that he was going to be a big time dude. But instead they pull the trigger at 30. They have Taker lose to Lesnar. Wasn't a fan of that. Was not a fan of Cena beating Bray Wyatt. I thought that was a swing and a miss. I really feel the only thing they got right all night was Claudio winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Other than that, WrestleMania 30 for me is just like do not wish to relive that night of sports entertainment.
Yeah, I know you are definitely in the minority as far as like internet users, and you're probably you're most definitely in the minority in the soon to be named network reality for this. Even 10 years removed, you still look back at WrestleMania Dino Bravo 1 as just throw the baby out with the bathwater, not here for WrestleMania, not here for any of the Daniel Bryan nonsense?
No, I think I've gone back and rewatched it once just to be like, was I wrong? And I still felt the same way.
Okay.
Just not for me, and that's all right. Not for me, but for me, it's a Groundhog Day I wish not to relive.
I got you. Well, I'm going to be positive at first. And the date for me is December 28th, 1997. This is the culmination.
I know that one.
This is a culmination of about 15 months worth of storytelling. A lot of pointing with a bat. A lot of ascending and descending from the crowd. And one laser light show and an entrance later. And my heart is just captivated, held, grip clutch tight for Hollywood Hogan Sting Starrcade 97. I don't care if Sting looks sick. I don't care if he looks tired. I don't care if he's not tan. I don't care. Sting is Sting. He's always going to be Sting. He ain't never going to stop being Sting. He was Sting then too. Okay? And sure, they got a little kooky with the finish, and it didn't make a lot of sense. But even me, as a child, as a youth, I was able to enjoy it, hold on to it, and I could relive the main event of Starrcade 97 over and over and over again. Starrcade 97 main event, absolutely guaranteed terrific. And that's my Groundhog Day, specifically the main event of Starrcade 97.
Well, whenever I put Starrcade 97 on, to this day, all feels right with the world during the entrances of Hollywood Hogan and Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for those 6 minutes or whatever, undoubtedly, I don't care what WWF had going on at the same exact time, WCW was number one.
Mm-hmm.
and it's no dispute. Okay. And it may have only lasted during the entrances, but for those 6 minutes, WCW was the unquestioned number one in wrestling.
Right.
And I still feel that way when I go back and I watch it, man. And the rest of the card, like, it's a little weird, like seeing who's not on the card, seeing who's left off, like seeing who's sitting in the crowd. But there's like some fun stuff, like Savage subs in into the 6-man tag, and like that's fun. And you get DDP winning the US title. You get Luger. You get Scott Hall getting beat up by the Giant. Excuse me, the Giant. You get like kind of angry Malenko and Guerrero going through a match that like neither one of them wants to be there for.
Right.
And that ends up being really good. So it's a fun show, man. And again, like it all culminates, it all builds up to the main event. Be remiss if I didn't mention the WCW debut of Mr. Hitman. That still felt like a big deal before that had gotten completely blown and ruined by WCW.
Yeah.
So
the WCW.
Yeah, I would hop in the time machine with you to relive that one.
For sure.
I'll give you a positive. I might end with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna make this one my end. The date, Sunday, April 3rd, 2005.
Okay.
That is the date of WrestleMania 21. And this date, I would like to relive, not so much just for like, having a really good WrestleMania, but it's a day I remember like clear as day, start to finish. And you think of like how many days you get to live through in your life and how many days you actually remember like little details. But I remember we went to church that morning. I remember the weather was gorgeous. We went to the grocery store by your house. And we took off our ties, so we looked like Evolution in the grocery store. We got snacks. We had the party people come over. That was also the birth of Pass Me the Peanut Butter Cookies. So it was a fun night. Again, super young, hanging with the homies, and we had a great WrestleMania on top of everything. So that's one I'd like to relive. And of course, pizza from Vinny's.
I don't even know if Vinny still exists.
I don't think so. I think last time I was over there, I think it was a different name.
Yeah, I'd have to go back. I go back to my hometown. I go back Easter weekend this year. Right before WrestleMania. Heading on over. So I will definitely look to see if Vinny's is still there. If not, pour one out for the homies. But yeah, man, WrestleMania 21 was special. That was fun. You literally couldn't be consoled at all with Big Daddy Dave
oh man,
grabbing the torch and moving forward through the new era of WWE. Definitely a crowning achievement for sure.
Talk about something I did like, man. Batista standing tall. Love that.
Yeah.
They should have ran it back 9 years later?
Yeah. I'll do my last one that I don't want to relive. I don't want to look up the date. I don't want to look up any of that. Because it was during the pandemic in the month of November. So this would have been November 2020.
All right.
Right? Okay. WWE's in the Thunderdome.
Okay.
And we are celebrating the career, the full tenure therein of a man who retired, quote unquote, 3 years before in The Undertaker. And like, it was cool at first. Like the Tesla coils going off and everything, and you got the Bone Street crew showing up, or whatever's left, or whoever could make it for COVID. But I never want to relive the sadness that is people trying to celebrate The Undertaker in a room full of nobody. Boy, does that suck. And I got a second one too. And it's also pandemic era. You remember the March 16th, 2021 edition of Monday Night Raw?
Sure do. That's
where Stone Cold
that's the
Steve
first
Austin.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Stone Cold throws a beer bash in front of nobody. And this was back when they were in the PC. They didn't have all the screens.
I liked it better without the screens.
I hated that they had Montez Ford out there and Byron Saxton to get kick wham stunnered. Oh, man. But basically, I could round up all of it by saying, I do not want to relive any celebratory moments that happened during the pandemic. None.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah, I think as far as pandemic shows, it's like that WrestleMania. I was like, all right, we got to have WrestleMania, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I've mentally
pal.
pretty much blocked out every pandemic show up until like they're back in front of people at WrestleMania 21. There's that one Royal Rumble too that's pretty good.
Right, WrestleMania 37 was the return to half attendance.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, of course, let us know what wrestling moments you'd love to live, relive, or hate to live, relive. In the Discord, the soon-to-be-named Network Discord, at the TNM Shows channel. Let us know via email, finalwrestlingplace@gmail.com. Let us know in the comment section of YouTube, whichever you prefer. And while you're there, like and subscribe. Make sure you don't catch it. If you're so inclined with YouTube, do that. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Spread the word, share the wealth. Don't make us your best kept secret. Just tell people. Hang out with us. I have some breaking news. Okay. I don't know if you saw this or not. We're scooping and booping.
All right.
On Twitter, I just got a friend request from...
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Not Joe Sposto.
Definitely not Joe Sposto.
Absolutely not Joe Sposto. So not Joe Sposto's on Twitter. Enjoy that. Can't wait to see how long this one lasts. I can't wait until we all get the email mandate from the soon-to-be-named network. Hey guys, we're moving to Threads. Everybody pack it up. We're going. It's like, well, what about Blue Sky? Screw it.
We're firmly entrenched until Twitter officially burns down.
If you had to make a call and you got to choose where we went afterwards, like Twitter dies a death. It's gone RIP 7 years ago. Where do we go? Or do we just stop? Are we done?
Me, I think I'm done, but I'd probably check out Threads.
Yeah, because I think it's synergistic with Instagram.
Yeah.
So like you got the Instagram for your pictures and your videos and your threads for your words. No, not those words, but you know, not Joe Sposto's words.
Not just supposed to.
Wait, hold on. I'm confusing myself here.
Different words.
Different words. So many words. Beautiful words. Wonderful words. Wonderful words of life. What rocked for you this week?
What rocked for me may not have rocked for a lot of other people.
Go ahead. Spit in my face. Spit in my face. Come here, little Cody.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's back. He's back for WrestleMania. The Rock is back to help put some more food on the table for everybody. I like box office, man. I feel like WWE runs best when it's an action movie. Action adventure, cartoon, Roadrunner, meet. That's what I like best.
How dare you spit in the face of the American Nightmare and the chief proprietor of the Nightmare Narcotic TM.
I think we can get into maybe a little bit more conversation after you go with what rocked. Maybe we can revisit this, but I definitely have my own thoughts and opinions on what happened. But in short, what rocked for me was indeed The Rock.
It rocked for me too. And here's why it rocks. Okay. There's been a ton of discourse, both in the soon to be named network Discord, as well as on your social media platform of choice. There is a press conference on Thursday that At Odds and We Need Wrestling can absolutely scoop and boop. But more than anything else, we are currently in the world of overreaction. Like, we love history so much that we all want to relive history as much as possible. It's like, every 10 years, like a person I dearly respect and treasure his opinion, Aaron from North South. Shout out to Aaron. He doesn't listen to this. That's okay. Every 10 years, WWE does something controversial and try to make WrestleMania a big deal. Goes back to WrestleMania 10. You wanted Bret Hart. Here, we'll give you Lex Luger. WrestleMania 20. You wanted Chris Benoit. We're going to give you Shawn Michaels. WrestleMania 30. You wanted Daniel Bryan. We're going to give you Batista too. And now,
you got that one right.
And now it's Cody's turn. And now we've got The Rock injected. Can we all as fans, can we all just sit in our seats, grab our seat belts, settle the F in, and just wait for the ride? Instead of throwing all these pitchforks and all these torches and all this hullabaloo, can we just watch? Instead of everywhere I turn, people making it people saying, we want Cody, and you're booing The Rock. Storyline wise, you should boo Cody. Cody didn't have to give up his spot for WrestleMania. Not saying he has already. But Cody injected The Rock. The Rock didn't inject The Rock. Cody said, hold up, here's Dwayne. And Cody brought in the dude y'all hate. That y'all are hating now. That y'all are chanting Rocky sucks on Monday Night Raw. Like y'all don't watch TV. Y'all just saw Rock Roman and y'all just immediately thought Cody had nothing to do with that. Nah. Cody made the call, storyline wise. and we bring in Dwayne. We don't have any confirmation yet on anything that's happening at WrestleMania. We got a press conference on Thursday. How about we watch the press conference on Thursday, and then we see what happens at Elimination Chamber in Perth, and then maybe we can overreact a little more. But it's like saying you've watched the first 15 minutes of a movie and you think the movie absolutely sucks, and then the movie turns out to being The Dark Knight Rises. Like, who knows, right? Now, this could also be Freddy Got Fingered. It's a multiple movies situation here. A lot of, like, we're watching the trailer of the movie. Are we getting all the cool parts of the trailer now? And the movie's going to absolutely suck? Who knows? Is this a Black Adam situation? Could be. Who knows? All I know is I would just like a little more pumping of brakes, which is hard to do because everybody has brains in their thumbs and they just go to work. They just get to go to work and just got to get all these thoughts out of my thumbs. And I just want to be a fan again sometimes. Even if Cody doesn't get anywhere close to the world title, I don't care. The story's going to get finished.
Seems like he's getting pretty close to the world title.
The WWE
You mean the
Championship.
WWE title. Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you're listening to this, obviously, you're a genius, right? So I'm not even preaching to you. This is for the people who would not listen to a program such as this and other fine offerings on the soon-to-be-named network.
At STBN Network on Twitter.
At STBN, what's the thing?
It's not your job to do plugs. Keep going, baby. You're cooking.
All right. Finish the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to that promo where Cody laid out his character arc, his character motivation. It was his father seemed to have won at that time WWF championship, the one Cody wanted since he was, little. But he wanted to win that championship for his father, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, who had it taken away from him in Madison Square Garden. Had it for a moment and then gone. He wants to fulfill that destiny of becoming WWE champion. So, finish the story. So, if the story is my dad almost won the title in Madison Square Garden, it seems like we have our where. Seems like this has to happen in Madison Square Garden. Let's keep looking at it. The WWE title. There's not a who involved in that at all. The Brooklyn Brawler could be holding the WWE title. It does not matter who the champion is. It simply comes down to Cody becoming WWE champion. So as time has gone on, they've kind of stripped away the Madison Square Garden part of the story, and they've really focused in on the just becoming WWE champion part of the story. But then a blank line that has been inserted and filled out by fans has been Cody needs to beat Roman to be the WWE champion, which I could say is a possible logical conclusion to reach. But in that initial finish the story promo, Roman is not a part of it. He's only a part of it because he happens to be WWE champion right now, which brings me to the last point about that promo. If I'm not mistaken, there was no when attached to finish the story. He thought he was going to finish it last year at WrestleMania because the opportunity was in hand.
Whoop.
Well, okay. I consider the story finished. You tried, you lost. Okay.
We're
But
not
that's
gonna
not good enough for
3
some
weeks in a
people.
we're not 3 weeks in a row gonna do this. I'll let you continue.
Not all stories have a happy. All right. Well, happy ending for me. But so he wins the Royal Rumble again. And here we are, right? We're going to finish the story twice in a lifetime. Again, a when is not attached. There is no time constraint put on this goal. There's no end date. As far as I know, wrestling is not ending as we know it at WrestleMania 40. I think there's going to be another one next year. I think there's going to be a backlash after WrestleMania. I think there's going to be a SummerSlam. So nowhere in that promo or really in this story or this storyline that's the one that really gets me. People being like, well, the storyline is Cody. Cody's had almost like no interaction with Roman since last year's WrestleMania. So like to really say there's been a whole storyline going on, I think is a real big stretch.
I think the most you can do is when Cody politicked and got Jay away from the bloodline and brought him to Raw.
He politicked to bring him to Raw, but Jay had got himself away from the bloodline because he had quit. And they've kind of tried to go back and retcon that and change the language by saying Cody brought Jey Uso to Raw. He did bring Jey Uso to Raw, but Jey Uso had also already quit SmackDown. So I'm sure Jey Uso as a talent wasn't just going to sit in abeyance in WWE. He would have bounced in NXT or he would have got to Raw eventually. So that's whatever to me. So yeah, the I don't understand people wanting to fill in these blanks and really like create their own blank lines and then fill in the blanks with what they want. That because Cody won the Royal Rumble this year, that means he has to challenge Roman this year because his character arc is finished the story, even though we're now changing all of the details of the story to make it fit what we as a collective fan base want right now. And that's the part that like I'm like, hold up. I think they made a big mistake with the promo on SmackDown. On Raw last week. When they made it more about him for the title, because that title's the workhorse title, and they go to all the house shows together and they tear down the house, yada yada yada.
So
that's like cool insider talk, but I don't think maybe that was the right direction to go. I think had they focused on their own company recent history of Cody versus Seth, are they doing that now?
So I watched Raw. I watched the opening promo. Seth, after everything happened on Monday, on Friday, Seth goes, "Hey man, last week I said everything I said. You told me you'd think about it. Then what happened on Friday?" And he's like, "I need this match at WrestleMania. I say I'm the best. In order for me to be the best, for me to prove this is the workhorse title, to prove this is the most prestigious title in the WWE, I need to face you at WrestleMania and I need to beat you to retain my title." And that's the promo they're going to use in the promo packages if we end up getting Seth Cody at Mania.
Okay.
Good retcon Jones.
That was my point. That was my point. Retcon Jones. So I think if you get to the Seth Cody match that way, I think that rocks. And I think that's, to me, having loosely followed WWE, I want to see this iteration of Cody versus Seth more than I do Cody versus Roman. At least Seth has had some, I don't say character change, but he's had some alignment changes as far as face heel goes. And we've seen him with like the back injury and now the knee injury and him really trying to carry the Raw brand in ring on a week-to-week basis with the World Heavyweight title. And we've seen Cody, and they've stayed apart for the most part. They had the Survivor Series together. But other than that, I think they've stayed apart for a good portion of the year. I would rather see them fight again. And I'm more interested to see if this iteration of Rollins picks up the win on Cody than I am pretty much the same version of Cody versus the same version of Roman from this time last year.
Yeah, I mean, so we agree in certain points and we disagree in others. We disagree in the whole finish the story narrative in regards to, well, the story's over. No, because according to your logic, the story is Cody wins the World Heavyweight WWE Championship. It's not losing to Roman. Roman's not the end of the story. The end of the story is either Cody leaves WWE and never wins the title, or Cody wins the WWE Championship at some point, right? I think my biggest catch with everything is kind of just going back to what I had said, right? Like, we're all, some more extreme than others, are literally jumping through every conclusion, thinking we know exactly what's going to happen come WrestleMania 40. And it's like 60 some days away. Like, we got so much time, and like in the story is, as watching as a fan, for me, Cody right now looks like the dumbest guy in the world. I have literally put myself in the Royal Rumble at number 15. I'm 15 I worked 15 people harder this Royal Rumble than I did last one. Maybe next year I'll come in at number 1 and I'll do it again. But Cody wins the Royal Rumble, and like it has not been said yet, but the implication that everybody is going with is Cody has given away his chance to fight Roman to The Rock. He's given it to him. Outright plain. But that's not, like, one, like, it is implied, yes. But one, we got that press conference on Thursday. Okay? That press conference could set some things straight, considering that Rock, Roman, and Cody, and Seth are all going to be in attendance. I just, again, I would rather reserve my piss and vinegar filled rage responses until we get it for sure what's going to happen. Because as you mentioned, you talk about something you didn't want to relive. You could even go so far as to, like, the whole, another moment that you could probably say you wouldn't want to relive is the build up to the women's triple threat match with Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. Like, very similar situation where we think that the road to WrestleMania is going one way. And then you inject something and you inject something and you inject something. And by the time you get there, what you thought you had is a permutation on a permutation down the road. There's so much more we haven't seen yet. There's so much time. It's more the overreactions for me that are making me madder than what's actually happening, that I should be starting to catch stage 1 WrestleMania fever about.
Only thing I push back and disagree with you is
fine.
Waiting to see, like, the press conference. Maybe we'll find out more. Cody said on SmackDown that he was going to take everything away from Roman, but he wasn't going to do it at WrestleMania. So if Cody inserts himself back in to what is presumably The Rock versus Roman Reigns, this becomes a triple threat match. Wouldn't that make Cody Rhodes a liar? It's not something he would do.
I don't think you have the words exactly right with what Cody said.
I feel like I watched it 5 times, and he said I'm just not going to do it at WrestleMania.
Which means taking everything away from him could happen before WrestleMania.
Could.
It could happen after WrestleMania.
Also could.
Right.
Also, I wanted to bring up this point. So if you're Cody Rhodes,
Yes.
and if
It's my dream. Go ahead.
Again, finish the story. If the story doesn't necessarily have to involve Roman Reigns, it's about the holder of the WWE Championship and beating them to become champion. Isn't it kind of cooler to beat The Rock?
I mean, yeah, I would say it's cooler to beat The Rock.
I would think it's cooler to beat The Rock. But I don't know. Maybe let us know. T&M shows.
Right, but I don't see. Here's where like you're now putting me on the spot to fight against everything I just fought about. Right, like
Dog spot, liver spot, ball
dog spot, liver spot, my spot. Like the difference between like what the differences between what exactly is being presented and what we know in our heart of hearts to end up being true, right? And a lot of the reactions we're getting is people who are prognosticating the future. They're looking down the road and seeing exactly where it's going because, for right or wrong, WWE has not been able to tell a creative news story to save their lives in a long, long time, right?
However many long.
So many long. But, so, the fan in me, when you say, well, isn't it cooler to beat The Rock than it is to beat Roman Reigns? Absolutely. However, you think The Rock is wrestling past WrestleMania 40? Nope. Nope. And nope. If The Rock wins, if the main event of WrestleMania 40 is The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and The Rock wins the the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, you might as well roll credits on wrestling. It's over. That title is going to get vacant quick. We're going to Paris. We're going to Backlash, and we're doing an 8-person tuna melt to crown the Roman consolation belt. The Rock is not defending that title. The Rock is going to take head of the table. He's going to go sit his little behind at the board of directors at TKO. He's going to watch all the UFL games, and he's done. He's not sticking around. He's not Tanahashi, man. He's not going to win a title and then defend it as president. No. If The Rock wins the WWE title, Cody better hope he wins a tournament or something, because he's not getting a chance to get his W from The Rock. And I'll say this: if Cody can't beat Roman Reigns and The Rock can, Cody don't stand a chance against Dwayne. I don't
Some
care.
might say Cody didn't win the first time, so he doesn't really stand a chance the second time against Roman Reigns.
They're different animals. They're different animals. There's more.
They're very same.
There's more dent. There are more dents.
Another Cody cutter.
There are more dents in Roman's armor this time around than there were last. Attrition. It's only a matter of time before the big bad takes too many shots and the unstoppable is stopped. Look at real fighting.
I think so too.
Dog, Chuck Liddell was the man until he got popped by Rashad Evans. And then he never stood the same again. Anderson Silva.
And was that a second Rashad Evans fight, or was that the first one?
It doesn't matter.
So when somebody else takes their first shot at Roman and can knock him down, then color me interested. But I don't have any interest in somebody taking their second, third, or fourth shot at Roman and finally getting the job done.
I'm fine with it. I think
that's just where we wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think we're ever going to agree on that. Because I have no interest in seeing somebody win on the rematch.
But, like, you're also the guy who just agreed with me that WWE doesn't tell creative stories.
It's not their specialty, no.
Right. So why would they make an exception for this and make it so where it's somebody who comes and takes their first crack at Roman to take the title when WWE has made a boatload of cash on redemption stories and people who don't get it done the first time and get it done the next time?
I didn't say that they wouldn't do it. I said that I'm not interested in it.
You're not
I'm
interested
not
because
interested
it's
in it.
Cody.
I'm not interested in anybody who's already lost to Roman being the person to beat Roman for the title. Anybody. Just like I'm not interested in anybody who's already lost to Walter and them being the ones to win the Intercontinental title from him. Not interested. When there is a big bad champion and it's a babyface beating them, you better get it done the first shot. I'm just not interested in the second time around stuff. Maybe it worked in the NWA. It worked with Dusty Rhodes. Guess what? There is exactly one Dusty Rhodes.
But it also is a story that's told across all of media. You can look to Rocky. You can look to, you know, we've brought it up multiple times in a row, the Dark Knight saga, like, and Dark Knight Returns, like, or Dark Knight Rises. Like, we've told the stories of how even in like Hollywood, the hero falls first. And they climb back to the top to new heights that they haven't climbed before, and they eventually win. And they stand tall at the end when they finish the story. But again,
okay, so let's go back to January. I believe it's 1984. So it's the new version of WWF. We're in the early stages of the expansion era.
Yeah. And
so while it still had its territory days, while it still had its territory roots, they were bringing in people that had previously been used and giving them new characters and basically starting fresh as this new national-based company. You think I want to see Hulk Hogan lose to the Iron Sheik and then come back a year later and be like, gee, Whittaker's, I did it finally? No. The excitement is in him going in there and stomping them out and winning the belt and beating everybody. That's cool.
Right. I get that.
When Macho Man was finally a babyface come WrestleMania 4, I had no interest in him losing to Ted DiBiase and then coming back a year later and being like, I finally beat the $1 Billion Man. No, not interested. Ultimate Warrior, when he finally got his title shot, he lost at WrestleMania 6 and then climbed back at WrestleMania 7. No, he got a shot at the King and he knocked him down to an awesome moment. They did it right. I think losing your first time and winning the second time or winning the third time is a half measure. I just don't like half measures in my booking.
Son, that's fine. Like I'm not disagreeing with you. Like full cloth. I think partially part of this is you're just harder on Cody because everybody's got Cody fatigue. Hell, I had Cody fatigue. Now I'm doubling my doses of the narcotic as we go to WrestleMania. Okay. I'm doubling up. I'm doing a pill in the morning and pill at night. Okay. And so, but I do agree that we've conflated what finishing the story is. Finishing the story has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. The story is about the championship. The story is not even about where. It's about the championship. And, you know, the promo on SmackDown was it's not about taking the title from you. It's about taking everything from you. And according to Cody, there's only one person who can take everything from Roman. And that's The Rock.
If you smell...
But that's also because he's Samoan. Cody can't be the head of the table. The Rock can be the head of the table. The Rock can take it from Roman, can take the WWE Championship from Roman. I have no interest in The Rock being world. Like, there's so many things like I'm not necessarily here for or not excited about. They're not like getting me whistling Dixie. But either way, man, there's just still more of the story. The story on finishing the story that needs to be told before we get to WrestleMania. And the next chapter that'll be written is going to be at that press conference on Thursday. Because
well,
at least
enjoy that.
At least we'll have an idea as to what is tentatively planned for WrestleMania in stone. They will have actually had to say it. They have not said it. It's just all of us grasping at word clouds and throwing ideas together, like that episode of Family Guy with the South Park manatee. Or was it the South Park? It's the South Park episode with the Family Guy manatee. That's what we're in. All of these ideas about WrestleMania 40 are in this water tank, and this manatee is just going and bouncing The Rock, Roman Reigns, WWE Championship, Cody's a sucker. And that's what we're getting. I'm just waiting to see what happens. Call me an optimist. Call me way too in on the nightmare narcotic. However you want to do it, it's fine with me. But yeah, if anything, we're all getting, if we're putting a good place bow on the end of it, at least we're all talking about it, right? And it's not something that's so dumb and stupid that nobody's talking about it. At least it's buzzworthy. At least it's talking about, I think they said on Raw that the hashtag We Want Cody has been trending for 72 hours straight on Twitter. So who knows? I don't. But let's start to wrap things up and get on out of here. Or do you have something?
If you finish a tweet with "We want Cody," you should also have to disclose where you were on January 6th, 2021.
That's not fair. Why are we calling Cody? Look, no. Cody Rhodes is not Chris Jericho. Allegedly. No. Stop it. Some of us won money with Cody at the Rumble. And some of us have to take our nightmare narcotic until WrestleMania. Some of us are choosing to double up. Okay? But no, we're not insurrectionists. I don't insurrection. You know exactly where I was January 6th.
If Cody does challenge Seth Rollins, I might take a bit of the nightmare narcotic myself. Because I'm actually interested in seeing that match. I do find it interesting.
Okay, I said I was going to get off of it, but now I'm not going to get off of it. The Seth Cody story is more washed than the Cody Roman story. Cody's only faced Roman one time and lost. Seth lost to this guy, and Cody had one arm.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a match I don't want to see? I don't want to see Cody go and run open gym Harlem Globetrotters versus the Generals on Seth Rollins and just lay it up and hit him with 3 crossroads and a Cody cutter and hit one for Liberty and that's it. No.
I do. The only reason Cody won the Raw belt and beat everybody.
No, the reason why you want to see it is because you want to see Seth Rollins stomp out the dreams of the American Nightmare and have Seth retain the World Heavyweight Championship so Cody can sit all boo-boo face at another WrestleMania not finishing a story.
I told you.
Uh-huh.
Narc me up, baby.
No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Do you have anything to plug?
No.
Good. God.
Oh no, I do. Hold on. If what's the date? Hold on. March the 7th. March the 9th, excuse the heck out of me. March the 9th, if you are in the area of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you should definitely go check out Enjoy Wrestling at the Mr. Smalls Theater. Again, that is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, March 9th. Hopefully, once Tony Phil delivers on his word and delivers us an early spring, we get some nice weather. But yeah, Mr. Pig's going to be there unofficially, officially. So go check that out.
Yep. At Enjoy Wrestle on Twitter. It is the Enjoy Odyssey. It is a battle royal event there at Enjoy. Tickets are available today. Get them at enjoy-wrestling.com. It takes you to their link tree to join all their social media and all of the stuff and also the things. So tons of standing GA tickets apparently on sale through Ticketmaster. So check it out. Get what you get there. It should be a fun time. I might make the journey out to the greater whatever city you just said, Pittsburgh area. Yuck. Why would I want to go to Pittsburgh? There's nothing there. I feel like I'll catch Kenny Pickett's small hands if I go. That's clinical, right?
Somebody catching something in Pittsburgh, you know?
Yeah. A charge, a case, a bad deal. Who knows? But thank you for that. Enjoy wrestling. But thank you guys for listening. We have been Final Wrestling Place. Final Wrestling Place across all social media. Instagram now. At Final Wrestling Place on Instagram. Also on Threads. At TNM Shows on Twitter. Catch us on YouTube. Search for Final Wrestling Place Podcast. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Tell everybody about where you listen to, where you get your favorite podcasts at. We are proud members of the soon-to-be-named network, soon-to-be-named-network.com, soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com. It's your home for this and so many other podcasts, including but not limited to our wrestling offerings of We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett and At Odds with Wrestling with Joe and Adam. At STBN Network on Twitter is your spot to see the live postings for all the shows on the network. Longbox Heroes, Longbox Heroes After Dark, Puzzle Warriors 3, Profane Argument, Hayabusa when it comes out Thanksgiving 2024. And also, of course, our favorite show, Wings on Wings. Sit tight for the At Odds Patreon. Go ahead and subscribe to that, but I think there's going to be a free piece of media for you in the coming weeks, so be ready for that. Keep your ear holes open. If you want to follow us on social media, you can. You can follow me at Not the Tool Man. Follow Marcus at the Wrestling Speakeasy. If you know, you know. TNM Shows on Twitter. Already said the others. We will be back here next week to talk about more fun stuff. But right now, Marcus, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, boys.